Okay, so I have not put out a video recently, and I am getting the prompting that I have to do that. And what I have been asked to speak about today is a very difficult subject for many. Um, Many things have been so I've been what I would call preached to today. I've heard many different sermons today. And I'm going to touch on this one that seems to be of the most importance for whatever reason right now. So the message I'm getting from Spirit is one that, as I said, will likely be challenging. But as I'm instructed, so there I go. And if any of you are wondering why I'm in my car, it is because I'm had a meeting and I'm driving back to my house. And once I return to my house, I have many other things that will take my attention. And even though I had to pee really bad, thank goodness, as soon as I stopped here and pulled off the road into this parking lot, I have been blessed that has subsided. So that's how I know I'm meant to do this now. The message that came through really strongly is this. Many of us hearken to the teachings of Jesus, the one they call Jesus the Christ. And I have told you before that Christ is each and every one of us. Jesus was a human personality that Christ worked through to teach, to heal, to uplift, to set about a change on this planet, to set about a great restoration that has taken 2,000 plus years to get to where we are today. So we are so very thankful to him. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Brother, thank you. Having said that, we have a love and we have an absolute devotion to the one we call Jesus. And he would say he is a brother who may have already traversed the path, may have already had the experiences that we are still experiencing, and has graduated, in a sense, to a plane where those experiences are no longer necessary. That does not belittle his gospel. And when I say the gospel of Christ, I'm not talking about specifically the Bible or text from the Bible or verses from the Bible. I am speaking about his gospel, which encompasses all of it, the messages that are still being received today, which would include this video that you are watching. Inspiration. Christ speaks to each and every one of us in the way that we can hear, if we are willing. If we are willing. And much was spoken to me today about what we call free will. I'm not going to get into free will so much because I'm going to come back to the subject that was, as fundamental Christians, we have been taught that there is a heaven and there is a hell, and I will tell you that is not so. I will tell you that the human experience up until recently, and even now during this time of transition, is the most challenging experience that you are likely to ever have, okay? Ever have. Time after time after time. Let's say that, okay? Now, the important thing to note is when we speak of unity, when we speak of we are all one, okay? This is a greater concept, a greater idea than many are able to process or even live. The truth, and there is an affirmation, if you are willing, you may begin to say, And put it in whatever order you want, okay? I see only truth. I hear only truth. I speak only truth. God is, God is, God is. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. If you speak this and you mean it with your will, your God-given will, your divine will, divinely gifted will, thank you, you will transform the way you see everything, the way you experience everything that occurs in your life. So coming back to this, I ask you to bring into your mind the one, whatever person it is, Trump, Biden, Hitler, whatever person it is. I want you to bring into your mind the one that you despise, the one that you hate, the one that you abhor above all. And I want you to bring that person into your mind, and I want you to understand that if you are willing to transform, if you are willing to take on the mantle of God, if you are willing to become the Christ, if you are willing to follow the footsteps of Jesus, you must be willing to accept that the one that you hate is loved by God as much as anyone that you love. I know that's hard. I know it's hard. I know as Christians, many of us have found comfort in the thought that the unrighteous would be punished and condemned to a place. Okay? I'm going to bring it to human terms now. We are all the children of God. Not one is and one is not. We are all the children of God, each and every one of us. Okay? I can't tell you as an individual how to unpack this information and how to assimilate this information. I ask that you believe. First, believe that there is a possibility that what I'm saying is true. Believe. That's the first step. Allow yourself to accept that there is a possibility that what I'm telling you is true. From the belief in the possibility, you can move to a place of acceptance of the truth that is. From the place of acceptance of the truth that is, you can then see, hear, see, realize the grandest picture, the biggest scope, where you will be baffled that you could ever think otherwise. Let's take it to the human again. The human says, let's say my child has murdered someone. Let's say my child has done heinous things. As a mother, as a father, you will know the sadness that you will feel. You will know the discomfort, the anger, the pain, and the heartbreak. You will still love that child, and you will not wish harm on that child. You would never wish harm on that child. Does that child become less valuable to you? Of course not. That doesn't mean that you don't maybe put up some boundaries, a little protection for the human self. And not because it protects you, but because you know that they must have the experiences that they're having for themselves and those that are affected by them. You honor the path. You honor it. You see it in its beauty while still feeling the pain of the human self. You know that God is all things, every experience that has ever occurred. And again, I know that's hard. I know it's hard. God is the light. The light is of God. So is the shadow. The shadow is also of God. The shadow blesses in ways that we cannot understand until we have come to the place of acceptance that it is all God. It is all God. When Jesus taught of faith, this is what he's speaking about. The faith that you know it is all God, even when you can't see it, even when your eyes deceive you and your heart is breaking, you still know it is God at work for the highest good. Particularly when this is something that we have no control over. And when you get to that level of acceptance, you then start to ask and live the question, what am I to do with this? Is there something I should do? Is there something? Father, guide me. Guide my path. Allow me to serve as you will. May your will be mine. May your will be mine. That person that you hate is your brother, is your sister. Is Christ in another form for an end and here with great purpose and reason. We have choices, yes. When I tell you that God will not condemn you, will not condemn any child, any Christ, God will not condemn. Does that mean that bad things, what seem like bad things, won't happen to us? No, because we can call that to ourselves by not listening, by not choosing to follow the light, by not choosing to allow the divine light to live through us, right? So yes, unfortunate things can happen, but seeming unfortunate things can also happen to help others. Angels, and I'll say it that way. If you can't think of us as Christ or as an aspect of the Christ that is the child of God, think of us as angels that have come here to experience what it's like to be human. Because all these are just words anyway, pointing to ideas, concepts in a mind. And your mind and my mind has all been conditioned by the things that go on around us and what we deem as acceptable thoughts and behaviors, because we have conformed on many levels to being less than we are. Okay? The one you hate has conformed in different ways, and actually maybe the same ways. And that may be why you hate them, because you see aspects of you, choices in you that you detest, things that you have done that you detest, that show up in that one that you hate. And we thank that one for showing us where our work is. We thank that one for showing us where we need to let go of the human self, let go of the ego, let go of the smallness, let go of the divisiveness, let go of the hate, let go of the shadow by accepting that they're there. You know, we live in a world of duality, shadow and light. They exist simultaneously for our good, for our benefit. Even when we don't see it, even when the eyes deceive us. And as difficult as this teaching is, even if you look to the Bible and the stories of Jesus and the things that he did, there is enough there. If you like the Bible, if you align to that, there is enough there for you to see the truth in what I'm saying. Does that mean you may have to let go of the Old Testament? Yeah, you may have to let go of that. But I assure you, once you get to a level of acceptance, you will understand the Old Testament in a new way. You will understand why it was necessary. You will understand the purposefulness of those teachings. And you will understand that it is okay. It is okay to allow yourself to be at a level that we no longer condemn and no longer hate and no longer divide. Our Father, God the Almighty, the source of everything that ever was and ever will be, and ever could be even, is benevolent. We must rewrite our idea of what benevolent is. Everyone you see at their core is a child of God. They are benevolent. When they take on the human aspect, when they take on the human form, they do have free will. They can make choices. So when you get into your acceptance, you get into your discernment, you realize everything about your life is being guided by something greater than you. Something that knows everything that is necessary for your development. It is the aspect of you that chose to come here and have this experience. So you're not a victim. You are not a victim. No one is a victim. We all come here by choice. We choose it. It is time to stop passing judgment. It is time to stop passing judgment. The gruff look you gave to the waitress is no different than the one who shot someone somewhere. Okay? We've been taught that these things are different. They're not. They're the same. Are they different levels of influence or effectiveness as far as the human form? Yes. But at the level of spirit, they're the same. There is no label category that says this is God and this is the devil. That's all a training program. It's an indoctrination into a way of thinking. It's an indoctrination into a way of seeing the world, seeing each other, that has led to war on our planet, has led to killing, has led to famine, has led to lack in general, a belief in lack. Okay? So we need to be able to see everything and everyone from a position of love or a position of Christ vision that knows its purpose and is in thanks and thankfulness and gratitude of its expression. God as this expression. It is an opportunity for us to look at the parts of us that would chastise and demonize and criticize that. We must look at the parts of us that pass judgment, that make other than God, make wrong, make bad. I know this is hard. I know. There is a part of me that is sad to give you this message because I know it is hard. But that does not take away from its truth. It is true. It is true. And from a place of love, I thank my Father for each and every one of you and everything that occurs within my life and yours. And I pray that you find peace. I pray that the peace of God will be with you. God is. God is. God is. Thank you, and peace and love. May you be blessed.